I think that's what Aaron said the other day, when we did the candies.
Today's my son's birthday.
How old is your son today?
Must be 42.
You're younger than me.
Yeah, well, I am. So, my daughter was 3 when I had her, so. Yeah, I was 30 before my mom started working. So, yeah, it was kind of late, I suppose, for my mom. Did you see the agenda?
No.
Sorry, did you say Frankie's birthday? Yeah. Predecessors for his. Yeah. I hate when you say that. Is he older or younger?
Well, much, being relative,
Hi, Aaron. I would not have guessed that.
10 years younger. Yeah, 56.
She's pregnant.
Would not have guessed that.
Well, did you see this?
Maybe I'm this
And by the way, I've got a letter
Okay.
for
dude's
it's a hard act to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to be a witness, so it's extra.
Oh. Excellent.
Or multiple times or something. Just make her feel yucky.
I'll probably have you right out of the gate.
Some of them don't.
And I don't think that's a lot.
That's not
Then let it here.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, could you let that?
It's the kind of one that doesn't go away. Yeah, if you guys start using that, it affects something stuff like that. It can affect this.
Using what?
If you use the Wi-Fi, like watch movies and stuff like that, it Casey, this one.
Okay, I have 9 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and stand, open the meeting with the
Just
pledge of
FYI.
allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Gentlemen, correction to the, or in addition to the agenda, we'll have Tammy, Christy, and Mary, and Kate at 10:45 for a short discussion. If you want to add that in. And then Christy, just an announcement for the record, the public record. I got a phone call this past week that from a constituent who was inquiring. They had been on that great social media, Facebook, and someone accused us of having secret meeting Tuesday night. So I just, for the record, Holt Recorder announced that our meeting would be on Tuesday for almost 2 years now. We've been having additional meetings once a month to allow the public to come in, have an open dialogue with those who wish to come in. So I want that in there, and then it was also on our website.
Also the date of when that was.
And it was also announced in the meeting on the 4th and the meeting on the 12th.
October 30 paper. So that is in the official record.
So for anybody that was here, they had more than ample notification.
Okay, Todd, you're up to bat, my friend.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's probably more than just status than anything else.
Okay.
The main thing I did do over the last week is I got the tax sale,
Okay.
foreclosure pleadings done, and the lease upstairs, and she's gathering the last numbers for how much is owed and whatnot. Once you put our little exhibits together nice and neat, will go up and get filed. And got about 28 properties left that are going to get put forward for sale if they don't pay up.
Okay.
So that would be number one. The only other thing I think was probably kind of pending, well, there's two things that I think. One being, I think I would want on the record some clarity about the intentions of the commission in regards to the recent rules in the past about public comment at a meeting or being placed on the agenda. It indicates that the person to be eligible to come forward, they have to be the owner of property and or have business with the county. There really isn't a definition of owner in there, and there's obviously a question that was arisen whether a tenant who just hold a lease on the property would be considered under your guys' formulation of that policy an owner as you meant it in those rules, or you think more of what we call a fee simple owner or a fee owner of the property, the person who registered deeds has now became one of or the owner of the property for tax purposes and for records of ownership. So just
In my personal opinion, no, it should be a fee simple owner, because if you're not registered in the county, if you do not have owner, the lease does not give you ownership of land. I'm sorry, the person who owns the land, who is on registered deeds upstairs, is the one who owns the land. A leaseholder is in no way holding an owner of land.
And at the end of the day, this is, again, define what this meeting is for us and the public.
well,
This is a business meeting.
the business meeting is not an open forum.
Correct.
Meaning
And
that an open forum means that everybody can come in and say stuff and protest and do whatever you are.
And this meeting, the chair has the right to determine who will stay on the agenda and who won't.
Yes, you have absolute control over the agenda, and you're just trying to save people with this policy, and I want that so that there's no
Yes.
misunderstanding about.
Must hold title.
Okay, so you, Dan,
Concur? You concur with what Mark and I have said? You can concur?
I agree, yes.
Okay.
I did.
So that we can understand now and staff can understand, if somebody calls up and says, well, I'm a tenant,
Yeah.
and not an owner
Can
that.
I get a copy of that? What you just said, do you have that in written form?
No, I don't have it. But I-
Yes, sir. He's just asking the question for definition.
Yeah, because you guys are quasi-legislative when you
Yes.
pass rules.
Correct.
Or resolutions, whatever, for the county broadly. So this is just, when the legislature passes something that is unclear what they meant, the legislature can always clear that up by saying on the record.
Right,
this
right.
is what we meant.
And just for clarification, one more time, we've repeated this multiple times in these meetings. We only have 2 meetings that are open for public comment. One being the tax revenue neutral, and the other is
But
budget.
And the Tuesday night meetings.
And the Tuesday night meetings,
The night meetings, which are supposed to be the first meeting of the month, the odd months.
when it's not a holiday.
Yep.
And if that, and to that fact, there will be a discussion whether we continue to have those. After the escapade Monday or Tuesday night, not sure we will.
yeah, and I think just to back up onto that, to kind of give context to you guys, the open meetings rules are that people can't in advance ask for specific notice, like a mail notice to any meeting that happens, and usually once they receive notice of the regular meeting, they don't need to get a notice again, but if it moves, like if you continue it, or, and then you have an additional special meeting or those, they get those. It's my understanding that they asked for that, so the notices that you gave in the paper and otherwise are sufficient in this instance.
Because the Holt Recorder is our official publication and our website, so.
So, and I guess you didn't lack for participants?
No.
So, yeah, I think that's somebody being very technical about something that is not really in the law. So that, and, as long as you guys see that being the entire purpose of that issue is that there's a regulated way to notice people who have asked for specific notice.
All right.
And so we got that.
Yep.
And the only other thing is just kind of I'm still on version 2 of the solar, so if there's other additions, changes you want to bring up, sua sponte right now, just tell me, but, I know I've got some big shell work to do on the rest of it, if that's what we got, so.
Okay. All right, we'll come back in just a little bit, if that's all you got.
Yep.
Road and Bridge.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Bob Miller, living up to level 3.
While you're up here, if you would, define this, what we talked about, the HHW clean out in December for $17,000. Just they weren't.
Yeah, every year, we have, Clean Harvest is the one that comes in and does it. They pick up all the materials that we've collected, through the year and dispose of it, so there's a charge to that.
So we only clean that out once a year?
Twice.
Twice a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
And
last,
they charge us once?
June, we didn't have a whole lot, so we just canceled that.
Okay.
So it's all right.
And there will be a reimbursement once it's done from other counties, and does the tribe still bring their stuff up?
No.
They do not, they go to Shawnee County now?
I don't know what it is, but, there was a law passed here this year that, you can't be taking on, businesses from their HHW. It's supposed to be household hazardous waste, not
Okay.
business.
Thank you for that definition, so that we know what we're paying for. Then I also had a conversation with Scott. We're gonna hold off, or he's planning, I informed him that we had decided we would hold off on looking at a different pickup for recycling until after the first of the year.
Okay.
We also got a new hire who's starting December the 2nd, coming in as blade operator, doing some training, some experience, a little bit of experience on bridges, a lot of experience on excavators and hoses and things
So
like
just
that.
needs time and see.
Andretti, A-N-D-R-A-D-E.
Like Morgan.
I was gonna say, sounds like a race car driver.
He's verified that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Not related. We have a call on 166 road down here again, east of the highway. We put a rock on that June the 14th, June the 22nd, August the 13th, August the 14th, August the 22nd, and we bladed that road, and it's still in pretty bad shape. So
What's the solution to fix it?
I think we need to go with heavier rock.
Bigger.
Down for base, like 2 inch.
166 east of the highway,
East of the highway.
that first mile? Or,
Probably about the first 2 miles.
so to the T intersection, back to the south, and then I'll continue on east?
Yes.
Okay. Just, like on that curve, yeah, I understand what you're talking about.
It's pretty rough.
Okay.
But again, we went down the other day, we had a call, and there's not a whole lot we can do right now with the weather.
If you do have a plan, did you call back the individuals or individual that called in and tell them what your plan is?
Not yet. Like I said, we looked at it Friday.
Okay.
We were a little busy.
Yeah, now I understand. That'd go a long ways, just getting information back to them, let them know what, that you do have a plan and you're gonna approach it.
Got the paperwork turned in, I said we had an issue with the white strip for the fire thing. Turned that back in, resubmitted, they sent back, and then they approved the white strip, for the fuel tanks going down there. Haven't heard anything about the, out here shop yet. We're good to go with that one, please. The blade is, on the auction right now, started on the 16th, and they will end on the 20th. So by the end of the day on the 20th, we should, have some results on how much the blade is going for. I got a email from the state out here on the 246 bridge, got the government money there, with the bats that nest from April to September. We need to go knock the trees down, we don't have all of them off, we just need to knock them down in that area so that they can proceed with the contract and plans.
There are any special frogs or anything like that down there?
Not that I know of yet.
Very good.
So anyway, got with Matt the other day, and there's a big cottonwood down there he didn't feel comfortable with, so we contacted James Tree Service, Shane Met, to come in and help us with that tree.
To at least get it down to a manageable, we'll dig it out, I assume, right?
Well, we'll leave that for the contractor. All we're gonna do is cut the trees and lay them down. And if it's in a problem area for the landowner, we'll move it.
Okay.
But if not, just leave them, and then when the contractor comes in to do the work, because they were gonna have to take the trees out anyway. So all we're doing is cut them and lay them down.
Okay.
Ken worked down here, MHC, we had those leaky fuel tanks on the trucks. We had another one here, we sent it down, they ordered the tank, it said it'd be about 4 or 6 weeks, it ended up just being 2 weeks, so we took the truck back down there. They replaced the tank, they did all the labor and everything, and now we're getting right from there, and that's after we talked to them. So we got a bill from them for $4,400.
And it was supposed to be warranty work?
Well, first time it was warranty, now they're saying it's not warranty because they replaced it once. Well, you put a certified Kenworth tank on here, and it still leaks.
Yeah.
You gotta get that. We're going today to visit about that.
You gotta talk to, sales department.
Sales, and Dave,
The manager.
the manager for the service.
Okay.
That's what we're.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. So it's at Rock OWL, we're trying to get prepared for the winter and covered for the winter up there, from the city limits to, 94 to 300. People are not going down the detour that leads that, so they prove up for us L4, 250.
Is that a minimum maintenance road?
No, it is not. L is, not L4. L is a minimum.
Yeah, I would, are you thinking you need to change the detour?
Well,
I wouldn't change it, I mean,
I
it's
think
my
we
rock,
should
we
leave
put
it
down on there and we set the detour, so if people choose to go down there, that's
That's
their.
up to them.
but I don't wanna lose the road either.
No, I know I don't wanna lose the road, and I'm concerned about the bridge that's down there.
Right.
That Matt says it needs replaced.
Right.
But,
We did put a rock on L4 lines because the guy that lives there called and said that it's just a run into water, it's mud hole.
sure,
And had ruts, that once you got over the hill, there were ruts this deep in the road, so we put some gravel on it like that.
Yeah, and we're not finished, but we're getting close, I mean, you know, so, but yeah. I
I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. We set up a good detour for them, and if certain people wanna go down that road, if they go through the bridge, yeah, we're gonna be liable, but we tried to make it to where we're not sending them down across that bridge.
Well, there's a limit to that too. I mean, you can't just go past blockades and.
We don't have any kind of blockades up, but,
No, never.
no, but,
The bridge is one that needs to be replaced, and Matt had said that they were going to look at getting it replaced, correct?
Get it on the replacement list.
Yeah.
What are they showing as far as if you drive up to it? Is it still open?
Yeah, because you can drive pickups and things like that.
You just can't drive
We
pickups.
just don't want semis.
So
we have a sign.
Do we need to put up a sign, a weight limit sign on there, pickups and cars?
I didn't check the rules on that. I
You
think
might check the rules on that. You do that because, like I said, the gentleman I talked to is adamant that he drives his semis and dozers and everything else across there, and there ain't nothing wrong with it. So I said, if it falls in, who you gonna come back on? Well, the county.
Well, that's what he
Okay,
said.
yep.
Yeah, he's posting and.
So I wanna get that posted,
Okay.
with either weight limit or, no semis or something. No semis or tractors, whatever.
Ton limit,
Until we can get that replaced.
be a ton limit sign, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
I didn't, that's what I got to check.
Yeah.
I think there may be some engineering studies you have to get, before you switch sticking those up.
Sure.
all right, Linda, where you at?
All right, 262, K to L, we put some, finished putting some rock on it, it was kind of light in some areas, and L, 254 to 262. And then we put some rock on 126R to R5. Did one service last week, 517, parts are coming in for the water leak, they got the salt and spreader fixed. And then we it just broke in half the notification, so he's working on that. With one tube replacement at W and 254, no tube washings. Still working on the minimum maintenance signs, so I'll get that done. Got ditching on Q, 222 to 214, and then sent J down on V and 94 to 98. Working on an area down there. The bridge is out at 254 and K5 except for, I take it one leaning wall. They don't have a spec, so they don't know if that has to come out yet or not. This week I went back to W, keep going on there, go to L4 and finish that up, and 250 like L2 to M. Got one service this week. Got an air or a trail valve going on 0539, excuse me. And then no heat, no air, 0827. No tube, no washings that I'm aware of.
0827 is what, Greg? Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right.
a grader,
Okay.
yes. And that's why we're grader behind it, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, and then, like I said, we've got the wing wall left on that one side, ditching on Q Road, further plans is ditching, and I'm still in the exact same position with computers.
Can we meet today and we'll have this conversation?
Okay. Okay.
The tube replacement at W and 258, is that a crossroad tube?
That is the entrance to.
That's what he called me about.
No, I talked to you about that. That was one up on Triggers, that water
Yes.
sits up there at the top of the hill and
Yes.
creeps out into the road and goes around to,
Yes.
Bob was driving the truck.
you know what?
That's Bob driving the truck, not Kevin.
No, okay.
So,
Well, no.
Okay.
Where are we on survey 206? 206 is where it comes off the old,
Okay.
keeps asking.
Yeah, you're talking about the property
Yeah,
where, yeah,
right. The two sisters home and the farm that road over. So,
Okay, I was told that you guys had said to send us tanking, and I didn't have anything, and.
I thought that I'd already talked to Hank about this,
Yes.
and I thought we got information back, I'll
Yeah.
just have to.
yeah, that's just,
call him and see
Not-
where he's at.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I thought I'd already.
I cannot find any map, anything showing where that went before. And I've dug in that room and dug in that room.
Yeah. Yeah. The entrance used to come in from the east side, but apparently there was a road that, that's all I know. He said he's got it on his deed, so.
I think the bridge washed out for years ago.
Yeah, it
Years,
did.
years,
Yes.
years ago.
It did.
Yeah, are we thinking like the 50s?
Oh,
I'm
that
guessing.
long ago?
I'm guessing,
Oh, okay.
you know, it was in the wet 50s.
Yeah. Anyway,
126, if you have a chance to look at it, the first mile,
Yeah.
Friday.
East side, west side.
I'm sorry, both, but the one on the west side, that first mile, the gentleman there knows how it's called.
Richard was down there Friday afternoon, raised up a road, and at that time he had a couple loads of rock already hauled on it. The east side of the road, the highway, they got that repaired in front of the guy's mailbox.
Okay.
And we did a little work on to the east, got a little ditch, but it's just so muddy down there. We basically got it set for the winter, and then we'll have to come back in the spring and do the ditch and all that stuff.
Did you have a chance to look at it, Linda?
Yeah, we went
So-
down there together
So,
and looked
okay,
at it.
so
and-
right as you round the corner, there was a washout right along the edge of the road, pretty deep.
Hey, Richard already had that gone by the time we got
Okay.
down there, but he did
What
have
was
that.
your, what did you think of the work?
Okay, I know that and you can see I have it marked. We've got to clean out that too, and we've got to,
Well,
I think we're talking something.
yeah, I'm talking right there on the east side of the highway, when you come off 75 highway.
everybody cooks.
Yes,
The mailbox.
The
yes.
mailbox,
Okay, I mean, we
yes.
sit around the curb.
Yeah, what
No.
are you talking about?
Come down the hill, there was a washout right there before the stop sign. It was about that deep. That was the whole thing he was supposed to fill in with that washout right along the edge of the road.
I didn't even notice that.
Well, Richard had it fixed, and he told me he had it fixed by the time we got this far.
Right, my question is, in me looking at it, because I went and looked at it, yeah, he had dirt filled in it, but the next time it rains and water comes down that hill, it's gonna go to the same exact spot. So in other words,
I thought you was talking about the mailbox, so that's what we must have looked at, not down by the.
the ditch was over here. He filled some dirt in, but it was still so high over here that when the water comes down the hill, it's still gonna hit the same spot, and it's just gonna wash it out again. So to me, yeah, the ditch was filled in, but it wasn't fixed correctly. We've gotta get the elevation high enough so the water will go on off the road and not re-wash that ditch. That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't even look at that down there, but again, it was fixed.
I pulled up on the highway and I could look up the hill and I could see it went here, filled in, and back up. Absolutely nowhere for the water to go except straight down towards the highway. Which, if you can put some rock in there over the top of that and build that back up so as it came off, it would go off the road. But again, as an experienced blade operator, I would think he would see that himself. Richard,
When did you go last?
Friday
Afternoon,
Friday morning.
Okay, Friday, that's when they worked on that.
Okay.
And we could see, he put more rock up there.
Okay, as long, that was my, huh?
Mailbox.
My mailbox,
Yeah.
so I'd like
Down
to
the hill.
verify,
Yeah.
I want somebody to look at that and
Right.
make sure that, yeah,
Okay.
make
Mike and
sure.
I are
that
heading
it's-
down there, to the MHC
Okay.
today, so.
Okay.
I'll swing by and look at it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that you've got to impress on the blade operators. One thing to blade it shut and go, well, it's fixed. It's another to blade it shut and get it fixed so the water doesn't do it again.
Well, that too, to start with.
The tube is one issue, but
Yes,
the washout itself, you've got to be able to get the water off the road.
yes.
Okay.
And I
Thank
need
you.
to be able to cut a ditch and be able to get in the ditch. But at this point, I can't, because,
Well, you have to take excavator out.
Yeah,
You don't have to do it with like.
No,
You just do
no.
level, but you
Okay.
just take an excavator and
Yeah.
right,
All right, that's all I had.
okay. Anybody else?
I got a call this morning, from one of the bus drivers about Deer Run, from, well, I'll give you the address, it's 11710 234 Adcox driveway, going west downhill past, 11668, Warner's driveway is washed out, and Jackson Heights, and apparently Jackson Heights is going back there now too. So the Jackson Heights and Holton's buses are meeting somewhere along there every morning, and neither one of them can pull over. Because it's washed out along there, so, yeah, I know.
We know all about it.
Yeah, we know about it.
The utility poles are in the ditch right by the road, so.
So, take a look at it, see what you can do, I don't know what we're gonna be able to do there, unless we can talk them into changing their routes a little bit, so one goes different times, because there's not a whole heck of a lot we can do in there. We said that before, and I think that was on the list to be worked on, but it's gonna be a time-consuming, long process. And then I got, a gentleman pulled in yesterday at the house, and T Road off of 254 to the north for that mile, where it dead ends and goes into the minimum maintenance road back to the east. He said it needs some attention bad, it needs a little rock on it. He said if we got some rock into the winter, it's probably going to come out. And south of 254 for that 3 miles, he goes out that way. He said that needs attention.
I've been driving the roads and marking on a map, and so from the 16 highway north to 286, across the county, I've been over all those roads and got those marked, for attention needs, and pretty much T road looks like just about all of T.
Yeah.
Through there anymore.
Yeah.
So that's, I've been trying to do all the areas,
To the north of 254 right there, where that mile where we got, what, 3, 4 or 5 houses back there. That needs, that's probably the one that needs the most attention right now, if we can get something done for winter, because there's a pretty good sized mud hole starting to come down over the top of the hill. So, okay, that's all I got.
Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
A letter here, just gonna make a motion, I don't think we moved on it last week. I'd like to see that letter, supporting that, so.
Yeah, I think we have consensus on it, just, I think we did the same thing for Giant.
Correct, so it's general consensus that we'll, send a letter approving or
Letter
in
of
support of Brightspeed's bean application. Todd,
Before you go on real quick,
yeah.
I'm sure you guys got this view from Laura Valley about the career and technical legislative process.
Yes,
It's on Monday at 8 o'clock.
in the morning.
Yeah. Did we want to try to go to that before the meeting, or?
I need to reach out to the advisor. I'm not sure what her expectations were.
Right.
I didn't know that you guys had gotten it.
Yeah, everybody got it.
I thought it was
I have
just,
not received them.
Double check your mail. I'm sure that you
Okay.
probably got it, because it's a legislative breakfast, so.
where's it?
They,
Is
they
that-
want to talk to, about career and technical education.
Right, but I think it was more them just giving information, not a back and forth, so, I'm not sure that,
Okay. Anybody who serves community, city council, tribal member, board member, state legislator, and representative, is what this is for. I didn't know if it would be good for us to go in support of the students in the program.
It's just the FFA that's doing it.
Yes.
I'll reach out to Eric,
Okay.
the superintendent today, and get his thoughts on it. Again, I thought it was more, because it was in my district, I didn't know that they had sent them to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know that Jackson Heights does that or Hope.
I don't know, yeah, I'm not,
So, I'll reach out to him
Don't know,
today
sure.
and see, but it would be inconvenient to.
Too late.
yeah, that's what I said, I didn't know if we could go to the meeting,
Thank you.
go through that.
I need to do some checking. Okay, that, I'll
Yep.
make a note of that.
3 weeks from today. At 8 o'clock?
Yeah, December 9th.
Are we all working together for Monday? Are you all driving or what are you doing?
But,
We haven't even discussed that.
Northeast Kansas meeting this Friday.
I'll forget about that.
it's the 22nd.
At 8 o'clock.
Kate, me, Scott, and then you three is who I had.
Well, yeah, I don't know, since my wife's status right now, that I'm gonna be able to go very far. So. She's back in the hospital.
Same reason.
Worse.
Todd, gentleman, is coming in with 1130 revitalization tax program. Kate's gonna come down and explain it, but basically, he has failed to turn in all the documents in a timely fashion, so therefore, we've had this happen in the past. I'm just running it past you, because I don't see that we can deviate from what the rules are for one individual. Basically, you have to turn in all your documents
No.
stating that you finished it, or wherever you are in the process, but finalizing it, so that then the tax abatement application is, or not application, but it's complete,
Yeah.
and then they can move ahead. And apparently this individual did not do that,
Yeah.
and you would advise us.
Yeah, well, I would check, of course, to I'd line out exactly the deadlines and the dates, and presumably that he hasn't fulfilled it, then, yeah, then you're talking about a person who's applied for, or at least that.
He applied for it, was accepted, did the work, but failed to, I believe, turn in the final documents.
Yeah, well, I would, always caution about looking at specific program and the agreements and what's been presented to the public for that purpose. But assuming that's all laid out like it usually is, which is just what you said, you apply, do it, and then you certify what you spend your money
Right.
and how much and all that stuff, and that's how that triggers that.
Well,
Correct?
yeah, and I guess, I'm sure, because I just picked up one of the brochures for the building permits and everything that's in there, talking about the revitalization program. I believe that, we asked Kate to have something laid out specifically, timeline. I see she's on for 11 o'clock right before that, but could we get her down here so that she can explain so Todd can hear?
That's what she
exactly
was
we
gonna
have?
come at 11 for.
Well, but Todd has to leave.
Right.
I'd like Todd to hear how everything's laid out, because we just had a case, 3 months ago.
Well, he didn't pay his taxes. He
Right,
paid
he
them
didn't-
after the fact, but
Paid him after the fact, but,
And then
but the whole thing was, we
Yeah.
said no, because you can't get back on the revitalization program because you didn't follow the specific
Right.
laid out guidelines. And I don't want to start picking and choosing who we let on, who we don't.
Right.
It's either you follow the rules or
Yeah.
you're off.
Yeah, and I don't think that, you're not, I don't think my advice is gonna change except for the fact that I wanna, my own way, I wanna look at those rules and how you set it up and say, okay.
Would it be
these markers
beneficial to
hit,
have them
hit.
down now?
And I'll tell you right now, Kate's satisfied, she has the markers down and those weren't hit. I would
see it
consider it
down early.
unlikely that.
Yeah,
I just wanna make sure all of our i's are
I
dotted,
agree.
our t's are crossed.
Yeah.
sure. We had a situation too where someone applied after they had broken ground and started, well, they didn't qualify, so, are those individuals?
Breaking ground, it was,
They started the forms,
they had found footings.
Right.
Which is the trigger to stop.
okay, okay, and they didn't qualify because it was after the fact.
Correct.
So,
All right, chase me down.
Okay.
Go over then. Okay. Just thought I'd check.
I only had one copy, so I wasn't sure if she just had one and she's not.
No. Want to go over the revitalization tax program that Mr. Luby is coming in for? Just, I think, lay it out. I think we understand, but if you would just kind of lay out what did not happen that triggered him being.
He did not fill out part 3, that you're supposed to fill out part 3A. That says he will not be complete by the end of this year, and then it gives an estimated completion date. Did not turn that in, and that's part of the, you don't turn in your paperwork in a timely manner, then you're removed, you're ineligible for the program. So then the letter was sent out January 26th of 2023 saying he wasn't eligible for the revitalization plan. We called last week.
So, okay, just for clarification.
Yeah.
The letter was sent out in January of 23.
the letter saying he was ineligible.
He was
The-
ineligible.
The November 1st, 2022 letter that we sent out with the part threes that they're supposed to fill out, was sent out November 1st of 22. No response.
Okay.
We sent out the ineligibility letter January 26th of 23,
Okay.
saying he was out of the program, ineligible for the program.
And he's just now responding
Yes.
to that? Almost 2
Yes.
years?
He did not respond in 23 at all to it.
Does that seem odd?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. If it meant that much to a revitalization, I mean, the amount of money that would have gotten back on.
And there again, there is nothing in the resolution saying that we send out these letters. This is a courtesy, reminding people to get this stuff in.
I'm just looking at the application, it plainly lists everything, and it's in bold letters
That is the
and
new
red.
plan,
Yeah.
because we've had issues. And so the new plan that we got clearly bolds and highlights and all of that.
But he did not respond to either of those letters until just now. What, in your conversation with him, what triggered him to respond now?
So Jamie talked with them. I did not personally talk with them.
Okay.
I don't know what triggered it, other than he just made a call to us saying he wants to know, called to ask what he needed to do for the neighborhood revitalization. He said that he did not receive the 2 letters, so we have the mailing address. It went to where he was residing
Last known address.
during the, right, which the mail would have been forwarded. We didn't receive anything back.
Right, so it would have
On
been
it.
forwarded.
So that's last week.
When did he start building and when did he complete?
He applied for it in June of 22. He was complete 23, I think it's on at 100%, 24.
So, I mean, just 3 to 5 minutes, I see the thing here that says you've got, if you come to January 1 and you haven't completed yet, you've got to apply again, basically, which is your problem, or 2 or 3, right? Not, so, it says the
Michelle
plan,
Ramirez or Michelle?
it doesn't say you have to, that it's noticed or anything like that, or, so, he's basically gone, on 2 cycles without renewing what he should have.
Okay.
So he should
It's
have
not
done it
even
in
a
23.
renewal, it's
Well, whatever this is called. It's conditionally approved,
until it's,
become null and void, will not be eligible to participate in the planned rebate program. So that's, I mean, that's pretty clear, basically, if you don't submit what you're talking about here on whenever January X, and your conditional approval is on board.
Just so I understand it, make sure, if you apply in, we'll say, right now, in November
Yeah.
of 24, you have the rest of 24 and all of 25.
you have less time to get your stuff done.
But what I'm saying is you have all of, because the only part I don't like is if construction is not completed, okay, that, it makes sense. Because I think that's been a stickler with some people that they didn't understand January 1st. But it's always, you have basically till the second January 1st, not basically, we do, to have everything completed.
Yeah, we make it very clear when people come in for a building permit and we talk to them about neighborhood revitalization, we say, you know, you're not like somebody that's starting your construction, your permit in January, you have way less time to get this
If you
completed.
started January 1st,
You have 2
full
years.
Yeah. So just depending, they need to understand the construction progress and whether they think they're gonna have enough time. Now,
We are very clear with people to let them know
yeah,
how much time they have.
But they can also just at that time not
Read the
reapply,
resolution.
but give you that other, it extends their time, for instance.
So if they're not completed, they can reapply and extend it?
No,
That's what I thought. Okay.
no.
That's
This-
not.
No.
Okay, well, maybe.
So the new one states very clearly now, he was a part of the old one.
But
That-
the wording was the same.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. We just clarified things and made it easier to read.
Doesn't matter, he didn't apply for an extension or he didn't reapply. He just failed to respond to any of the documents sent to him. And those documents were sent out of courtesy, not out of responsibility.
Right.
And he knew. It's kind of like not paying your taxes and it kicking you out of the program. It's, you pay them under protest and they get the rebate. It's not the other way around.
Yeah, I think that's, I was read this, and it was just.
Seems pretty straightforward.
That you've got that time to say.
Okay. I just wanted to
So
run.
we're
that.
good. That's done.
Yeah,
We're not
reading,
deviating.
from what I'm reading, from what
I
I'm
don't know if
reading.
you got the authority to do anything else other than deny it.
Okay.
They aren't complying.
Okay. Thank you.
Where's the problem? 198. Okay. That's what I thought.
Todd, I don't think, if you don't have anything else for us, gentlemen, do you have anything else
Sorry,
to
this is my
ask?
fault.
Just
Would
read that
kick you
again.
loose?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, let me get where you
I'm
go.
kind of typing it up, that's what I'm gonna be publishing. Yeah, tomorrow it'll go in.
Is that the regular meeting date, 12th of December?
Yeah.
I think it was, is there a location where the meeting courthouse?
Well, that's to read the document.
Yeah, well, I was saying here that planning, Jack's planning on 17, 12th December, Jack's in the courthouse. Is it in room 202 or here?
And this is to read the document in advance.
Uh-huh.
They wanted to read that, but it's still in the same room. I mean, put that, should I be putting that?
Well, I mean, if you're asking me, kind of stickler guy about whether you should. And it seems to me that would be helpful, just to say room, whatever it is. Yeah. Just room number.
See you in a little while. Have a conversation about the ID.
Should be some busing today.
Thank you, Kate.
Yep.
Thanks. See ya.
Keith, can I have that newspaper, so I can make a copy of it?
The what?
The newspaper, so I can make a copy of it,
Sure.
please. Just so I can put it with my minutes.
Yep.
That was in that packet of information.
That's actually both of them. If you want to keep. I don't need it. I do not.
Okay.
Thanks for accommodating me, gentlemen.
Yep. Have a
See you
good
later.
day.
Be careful.
Great day.
Try not to be done if I can.
Okay.
minutes.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Until 10:45. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't understand. Oh. That's, yeah. What can you wait till? Oh, okay. Okay, I don't know the status of that, otherwise there, can you wait till Chairman comes back and ask him? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Waiting for the next agenda item to come up.
Yeah, they'd call a recess. I don't think there's anything until 10:30 maybe.
Yeah. So how do I close this?
Damn. It's a $5 raise. Sheriff got a raise from $68,000 to $77,000.
When do I get a raise?
Linda Jackson at Road and Bridge got a $5 raise. That's $10,000 in a year. Huh? Yeah, I heard. I'm reading the minutes. Road and Bridge person, Linda Jackson, got a raise from $28.58 to $34.16. That's $5. Good. Sweet.
Tell you. I'm sorry.
Did you? That's fine. I bought my own. Okay. It's,
What's that?
it's
Doesn't
county.
look as much as.
Get this.
I know. They know that.
Yeah.
We can have that conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know that. I didn't know that either.
No, I was in here when we asked you to keep it. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got that for sheriff's department. For sure. Oh, no, I'll take it. Yeah, I told him to keep that road as much time as possible. Christie and I had your conversation with Scott that on the truck and stuff, we just need to wait, not just after the first of the year, but we need to wait till taxes come in and we have that money.
I'm gonna try to work on blending the budget this week. Probably this week.
And, I was talking this morning, I said, oh, I'm bothering to get out of the room. Now, we did a bunch more stuff, so, and then, doctors, I have to be there for a while, so I go in. I was gonna spend the evening. Anyway. Yeah, things just start going downhill, but I got results, things are not as bad as I thought, but I still have to do hard. And that doctor won't be until later, so I'm really in the mood. I wasn't gonna come in at all, but they called this morning, no, bother, don't come in. So, okay.
thought about it. I wanted that, so I just didn't go with you, said you were gonna ask.
10:45.
I didn't know.
Tammy, Christie, and Mary, Tammy.
No, Mary. Mary.
Tammy, registered the treasurer's office, right?
Lisa.
Lisa. I wrote down Tammy, and I'm thinking like, where did that come from? Then I crossed it out, but Lisa.
Thank you.
Lisa Muller.
Putting down this, I think you have to do this one. Got Monday.
I thought it too. I thought you were putting this in through, that's what I thought was a deal. Daniels in the way. Daniels in the way.
I don't think I'm gonna have any fun today.
And Mark, when they're down here, I'll plan on an executive session in security, IT. That's what we need to discuss, how that works.
Yep.
How it works.
That's perfect.
To discern there was some sort of issue.
Did it make sense, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Did it make sense, like Ron was doing that? I was thinking last week, I thought, all you did was shove mud in it
Yeah.
and call it good, or actually dirty, and dry it. I want to get the water off the road, next big rain, it's gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you gotta do it there, has been very patient to be done since June.
Does that do a pretty good job of picking the failure? Did you hear what I said just now?
Eric.
Jay, but it was,
I think James is great.
Jay is, laid out Brenner in my area, the house, East area, and then right across the highway, you get Richard's Field. And they actually have Richard over there fixing it. But he came from higher than that, it didn't come from higher than that, it needs to be less.
Yeah.
Where do you get across? Because he's bladed that road a couple of times. If you're in the machine and you see that, wouldn't you try to do something with it while
Well,
you're
you
there?
would think so. I mean, we've said, since I've been on it, we've said, beforehand, you got that thing.
Right.
More than enough time. We're not telling you that the X amount of miles per day.
Right.
We're not saying do it like that. You see a problem, fix it. You know, if you're going down the road and you're blading, okay, if you're heading this way and you get to the middle of the road and you see a problem, finish it out, then come back and work on that. Don't go on for the 2 miles down the road.
Why do you think that's not happening?
I don't know if they don't believe us that, I don't know if they don't believe us that,
Oh, by the way, Linda wants to be in the middle of us.
I don't know if they don't believe us that they, you know, that that's what we're giving them.
Source of recession.
You know what you need to do.
So how does that get?
I think the mindset out there has been for so long that the 3 of us are running the place, but we're not.
So you think it should come from the supervisor?
Yes. Yes.
Why is that not? I'll have that conversation Thursday when I'm out there.
Well, I think for years, it came from here.
I
Came from here to the supervisor, and then,
We've been talking about this for 4 years.
yeah, I know. There again was a full, you know, the gentleman that called me about the teacher, I don't run day-to-day operations. We give the authority to them.
Yep.
Yep. No, we give the authority to them. And they run day-to-day operations.
It's
He's come,
Oh, no.
we give them the authority to do it. Yeah, they come in here and ask for
Did
every
you ever
pebble,
respond
gravel
to
they
that?
want. That is not giving them the authority to do their job.
No.
I didn't even
No, I drove the other,
Yes.
last Sunday when I went to the teacher over there, I went and drove the same thing, that afternoon.
Right.
Or I guess it was Monday, I drove the teacher over there, and drove down 254, and they've done what I asked them to do, brought the rock out of the ditch, and evened it out across the road, so it's still slow, and water can get off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what, but we just totally ruined the road, is what he said. And coming into winter, now the snow's not going.
Mine still melts off, if it's not heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah,
That's,
so yeah, I didn't respond to it.
I didn't have access to Discord until last night. So I'm gonna call them. Those two are very, I just want to ask for clarity. Is there a manager in the house? Is there a manager or are they a manager of the apartment? That's the question. We need to find out what, is that citizens band radio or an emergency band radio? I don't know yet. Sure. Yeah. Tens of thousands of dollars. Are we still in recess?
till 10:45.
Can I ask a question? I just don't know, my first time here. Is there a road and bridge manager that manages that? Or are you guys the managers?
Public Works Director, the gentleman who was here earlier, he's the Public Works Director, which encompasses household hazardous waste.
Thank you.
That encompasses household hazardous waste, noxious weed, recycling, and then road and bridge. Landfill.
Landfill?
Yeah, landfill. So one has for all those, and then under him, he has superintendents who handle each department individually.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand that there's, I heard
Mark?
Mark say that they have the authority to do this, that, and the other thing. So what is the purpose of the meeting? I mean, is it just to report back what happens?
Right, so the reason for him coming in here,
Yeah.
yeah, just to give a report, kind of let us know where he's headed, just to keep that dialogue
Okay.
between the
So
two.
it's not really I need permission to go dump whatever measurement or rock, wherever, it's just a report back, okay.
Typically, if he's gonna come in here and he needs action from us, it will be on purchasing above a certain dollar amount.
Okay.
He'll.
But he manages the budget,
Correct.
and if it's gonna be,
With us.
is it,
So it's a communication with us. He'll make recommendations to us, but just like I think you heard me say that we decided as commissioners that the purchase of the vehicle for HHW would not be until after January, sometime in January. So it's really, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, it's just an open dialogue between us. Typically, if he suggests it, but if we see that, let's hold off on it.
I believe what you're referring to, what I said, well, as far as like the grader operators going down the road, they're within their wheelhouse. If they're going down the road and they see a ditch starting, to address it right then. If they're going down the road grading and they see a mud hole, they have the authority to call in and say, hey, I'm out here on 266, I need a little rock out here because we got a mud hole starting, let's get ahead of it now.
Yeah,
That's within the grader operator.
it's not in the schedule, in that situation, it's not in the schedule, so
yeah,
we need it today.
The only thing that would trump that would be Linda, who says here, she's superintendent. So if she hears on the radio, hey, I need a load of gravel out here, but she knows she's got all of her trucks working on a project, she'll get on and she'll say, no, I'm not gonna be able to get you one today, but we'll do it tomorrow. Those are the management pieces where they can manage those types of things. But no, we don't handle day-to-day out.
Okay, I just hearing this and trying to understand.
I'm sure, good question. We have said for the last 4 years, at least I have for the last 4 years, I meet with Road and Bridge once a month, just to see where they're at, what's going on, what things we can do from our perspective to help them in their job. But I've always said that
What is your last name? I can't remember.
they're the ones handling this. We help give an overall goal and direction. And that direction is that the blade operators have the ability and the time to stop and address issues when they see them, not write them down or pass them by and come back. And that's been a very difficult process getting that mindset. But
Are you from here?
I live in Jackson County, yeah.
And I don't know your name, sir.
I think I know Julie down, I've been wrong.
Shared a Barstool.
At Boaters.
You were waiting.
I haven't been going there for a while.
We were waiting on our meal at the commissioner, we talked.
Oh, over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, I live right east of town.
But yeah, that's basically the hierarchy of all these departments, and we try to answer, the constituents when they call in and help facilitate. We created 4 years ago a document, that clock's a little bit slow, a document that when people such as yourself call in Road and Bridge, you give them your name, your address, and what the issue is. It's listed once a quarter. We get that document so we can see what's being completed and what hasn't. And that way we can hold the management team accountable for not getting things done and find out why. It's not perfect, but it is better than what it was 4 years ago. Because 4 years ago, it was write it on a piece of paper, hand it to the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Never thought about that.
Opens the door, wind blows it out.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, so good questions.
Okay.
East of town, highway, I refresh my memory. It's been a while since we talked.
What do you need, to refresh your memory where I live?
Yeah.
I believe I'm in Keith's sister.
No, as far as
You're
east of
out on
town,
16.
I grew up east of town.
if you're out on 16 East, you're probably mine.
Spring Road.
Oh, yeah, now you need
Well,
mine.
depending on which side.
I didn't get to vote this time, so whoever didn't get voted on this time.
That would be Mark.
That would be me.
Oh, okay, I was thinking it was.
East,
Chairman.
oh, the
If you're,
16.
if you're on
east
Spring
of
Road,
16.
if you're east of 16.
Yeah.
On Spring Road, yeah, that'd be mine.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
it was up there then. Yeah, I grew up east of town too, so.
Where did you grow up?
You know the big town of Arrington?
Oh, yeah.
Way east.
You're almost out of the county.
I was. We had farmland in Jackson and Atchison. So,
Yep.
lived there. God's country. Delaware bottom is what I call it.
Yeah? Pretty close every now and then.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
It's good farmland.
I drive around the
Yeah. Alrighty.
I'm glad you're getting involved and watching what's going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn.
Yeah. Do you think that's later back?
Is that better?
Yes, it's
Okay.
settling down. I
Okay.
appreciate it very
I
much.
took it down a couple, 3 weeks ago, and for some reason, I don't know why, how it got put back up.
No, you're fine.
They got
I'm
them back
gonna
up.
be here about
Really make
5 minutes,
it.
probably.
Yeah. I know one does.
If you give me a shovel, I'll take it outside and bury it.
I thought maybe you're having some bronchial,
That's kind of what it triggers an asthma.
Triggers that cough.
is it triggering you too? Oh my gosh, I didn't know. Okay. Tis the season for the germs to
But
be,
it's weird because not all of them do it.
yeah.
I mean, I have some at home that I use and
Yeah.
so I don't know the difference. I think it's just different scents.
Maybe it's Pat, you're too close to Pat down here.
Possibly.
It is cool. I just noticed a picture of the corner.
How are you guys?
Morning.
I just noticed a picture out of the corner with the square is still grass, still mud. Mud roads. Horse drawn buggy or whatever.
You guys, were you?
I didn't look for
I
it.
didn't see you. Oh, that's okay. We're actually in recess till 10:40, or till, yeah. We have, the next appointment is at 10:45. Christie, we move them in, we've got about 20 minutes here before.
Where they want you on the agenda?
Yeah.
If that's possible, please.
Well,
Just to put you in right. What's your name? Rachel Thompson.
First, go home in the hour.
So I'll just go down the lanes.
Rachel Thompson.
Okay. We'll go ahead and, come out of recess and. Good morning.
Papers, good morning, how are you doing?
Great,
It's
thank you.
kind of damp outside.
Yeah.
I guess I was wanting, I've done a little more research, wanted to share that with you all. I didn't bring enough for everybody, so I'm sorry. But I guess to get started, I wanted to point out that according to the US Ag Census,
I'm gonna pass this down, have Christie make some copies.
Jackson County, the land area is approximately 419,980 acres.
Okay.
In 2017, there was 334,572 acres of farmland. And in 2022, that reduced down to 263,210 acres of farmland,
Okay.
which is a 21% reduction in farmland.
Okay.
It doesn't tell us where it went, it just says that's what happened. So 71,362 acres gone in a 5-year period, most likely due to development.
Okay.
Okay. And so I guess the reason that I pointed those numbers out is because I keep hearing 5,000 acres for the solar development being the number, and then you hear it's going to be more than 5,000 acres, contiguous block, just solid solar panels. So, even worst case scenario, if it was 5,000 acres, I wanted to point out that would only be 1.2% of the county's actual acres.
Okay.
And then 5,000 acres that's extent would only be 1.9% of the farmland acres left, according to the 2022 census. Okay, so common estimation for solar is 6 acres of buildable land for 1 megawatt. And they're talking about, the proposal is a 500 megawatt facility. So that comes to 3,000 acres buildable. Now, I'm not a math phenom, and I don't know what that would look like with setbacks, but for 500 megawatts, I guess I would assume, based on setbacks and everything else, that you're probably looking at 3,500 or 1,000 extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, we know due to terrain and signed acres, that that wouldn't be in solid blocks, but that would be in fingers or chunks or broken up by bricks, roads, unsigned properties, and that sort of thing.
Based on what I viewed when we went to Nebraska to look at a facility, that's exactly right. You would drive and it would be farmland, and then you would have a site of arrays, and then you would drive, and then maybe some on the other side of the road, and you drive and drive. So, typically, from what I saw in Nebraska, the bricks were left intact, the tree lines, the hedgerows were all left intact.
Yes. So, one of the things that next year has talked about, at least with landowners, is the fact that trees would not be removed. Tree lines, that sort of thing would not be removed. They have no desire to take out mature tree stands. The goal is to leave as much ground cover, establishing perennials with root masses. You're going to have, as opposed to an annual crop, you're going to have a perennial crop near the solar panels, which is extremely appealing for soil stability, especially with ground that's known for heavy erosion issues. So,
May I?
yes.
I don't think you were here, you might have been here, I addressed this several weeks ago. There's been all kinds of rumors, myths, and everything, whatever you want to call it. 5,000 is a number that has been thrown out there by social media. It's not anywhere close to that. And that is incorrect.
To clarify, Lane, real quick, 5,000 is the number that's been thrown out there, 5,000 is the number that one entity is saying that they want. But that's not the number that you go on from there.
Right. So, myths, rumors, whatever you want to call it, it's just simply not true.
Right.
And regulations will certainly dictate everything.
Yes. No, I understand.
And Rachel, what we have in regulations as of right now, before we pass it on to the planning commission, which they can change and do and move things around however they see fit before it comes back to us, is 2,000 acres total area.
Okay, that's extent or buildable.
Buildable, and that's what we had to start somewhere.
Okay.
So,
That's
why it'll go to zoning and planning, and whoever can go to those meetings and argue that it should be increased or decreased at those meetings. Question, do you farm?
We used to farm.
Okay. And so you have ground in Jackson County,
That's correct.
and so you farm, or someone farms your ground, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. How many, and I'm just curious, because how many people that you know of that have underlaid in the county currently and will continue to farm.
Just a second.
If you had that information. Sorry, on the spot.
11 on my list, I don't have all of the landowners. I don't know, I could run a percentage on.
No, that's close enough, 11 out of however many people. Yeah, just, I think, for the community, understanding that it's not absentee landowners that live in New York. There could be some of those, but a lot of the people who are leasing the property are, from what I've been told, are people who are actually currently involved in a farming operation in some fashion and are looking to inject this money into their farming operation. Now, for us, or at least for me as a commissioner, it doesn't mean diddly squat to me, and I'm just being frank.
Yes.
Our goal, our responsibility is to create regulation that protects the county and the people who live around any type of facility that's being built, special use permits. What it does, you know, in the community, then as far as a payment of taxes and something like that, then we have a responsibility to make sure that that's benefiting the community.
Yes. No, that's.
Yeah, and to give you an idea of what that 2,000 acres would be, it would be 3 square miles plus an 80.
Okay.
And the conversations I've had with others, they would like to see the distance from cities. I think we've had this conversation before, reduced down to 1.5 mile radius.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is,
Okay.
and that's pretty standard from what I can tell with regulations across the state of Kansas and in other states too. I think there's a county that's to the south of us that's just recently done regulations. I think it's where Wolf Creek's at, and they've got 1 mile from cities.
Okay. You say
Yeah,
Wolf
by
Creek?
Linda.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I got it in here somewhere. It's Coffee County. Coffee County is 1 mile. Johnson County is 1.5. I don't know where Douglas is. Yes, and I guess one of the things that as a landowner, we need to do a better job of making sure that the county understands we're still paying our property taxes during that 10-year
Yeah.
abatement period. It's not a loss of tax payments, it's just not an increase in tax payments.
Right.
But it does feel like it's being accused that we're shirking our duty as landowners and not paying our property taxes, but we will still be very much paying them.
It's just the equipment that has a 10-year abatement from this Kansas legislature.
Yes.
Yes.
I guess then the other thing, towards the back of the paperwork, so the front part addresses, let's see, I think it addresses the farmland. There's also the property values surrounding solar development. And I've included a couple different studies in there. I have information from the American Society of Farm Managers and rural appraisers. You can find things across the board. You find that the more suburban things get, it does decrease property values more. In rural areas, you're seeing negligible decreases. They're saying within a half mile of the development, there is a 2% decrease in property value, but then a mile away from the solar development, they're seeing none that are measurable. I tried to include a couple different studies that would be more pertinent to our area with its rural. So.
Christie, I'm just gonna pass, you go ahead. So that, since we're talking about it.
And then I also included, the last page that I put in there is the new dwelling permits that have been applied for in the last 16 years in the 2 townships that would potentially be affected with the proposed project from Nexera. That's Adrian and Washington, I believe. I think there were, I don't have this off the top of my head, it's 35 in total over the last 16 years, and then I have that broken down by township lines if you want to. I think that pretty
I mean, just, yeah. How long of a lease do you have?
It is a 30-year lease.
30 years, okay. We've heard variation, 20, 25, 30. So, okay, very good.
And that's pretty standard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty standard from across the board.
I guess also, are you happy with that lease? It's very promising for you going forward.
I am.
Okay.
I consulted with a lawyer that was recommended to me through PNA.
Yeah.
He specializes in green energy leases, wind, solar, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And I've worked with a number of different green energy companies. In the past, I trusted him, he had a lot of good insight. I felt very comfortable with what we went over. And then I also did a ton of research beforehand and looked at different universities had suggestions for leases. I had the privilege of looking at two different sets of leases from two different green energy companies and was able to compare and contrast with that too. So
Why don't you
it
tell
was
me?
a lot of research
Yeah, you've got your homework.
that went into it.
Sure.
It's a long-term thing that, and I'll be relatively old at the end of that, and so I didn't want to dump something messy and detrimental on my children either.
You said there was, how many new builds in 16 years?
35. It's almost the last piece of paper in that pile. I gave them.
Is this all one?
It's all.
Yeah, the moved sideways, it's fine. On another note, CRP land decreased in that same 5-year period. I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting. Sorry, pertaining to the landowners, the signed landowners, there are only a few of what I would consider absolutely absentee landowners, and I'm talking like 3 to 4, maybe 5, and the rest of them have either grown up on that property or had farmed it, or had, there's a lot of connection to the ground for a lot of people. I think that's it. I really do appreciate your time and for getting me down the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good information.
Thank you guys so much.
And again, whenever we finish with the template of regulation, that will be given out to the public as we go through the zoning and planning board. And then that's where you'll be able to go in and state your case of why what you want done should be done and where that back and forth will take place. And we've gotten some board members on there, we've increased that from 7 to 9. We think the more people that can be involved in that, the better. So, broad spectrum of people, from farmers to businesses to just taxpayers, of course.
Diversity is usually a good thing when I do that.
Yes.
Do you anticipate a third draft coming out anytime soon?
We hope so.
Yeah, with everything else we've got going on, but yes, that's the game plan. I would like to see it submitted over across the hall to the planning commission by the end of the year.
It's taken our attorney a while to get up to speed with all the additional work. One of his partners left. He was our previous attorney, so therefore he's having to take on a great deal of work. So we're trying to be patient with him because we want to do this right. But it's taking a while for him to get up to speed with it. When did you tell her you hope to have it by when?
I hope to have it by the first of the year.
That would be my goal.
That's
By the
the
end of the year, I would like to have a version that can go to zoning and planning and let them start to do their work on it. People can advocate for or against at that meeting and have their conversations there.
That sounds good.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate the information.
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
A little early, unless you had something other than what we were gonna have all of you down here for. Yeah, we'll, yep. We'll do that in just a few minutes. And just to give you guys, everybody a heads up, we'll be going into executive session. For this, it's a matter of IT, and it has to do with our security of our system, so we'll be doing the executive session for that. Come on in.
Anyways,
Neighbor?
Script.
got it.
All right.
The church, Catholic Church. Second Jackson County Courthouse. It's not a church.
He's gonna try to stop over and visit with us, he's leaving at noon, but he may try to be here.
Executive sessions for matters of security, IT security, to include Lisa Miller, Mary Savage, Kate Imagery, Christy Richter, and commissioners. Going into executive session at 10:46 for a period of how long, Steve?
Probably
15 minutes?
We can extend if we need more than that, and Kate can come in whenever she gets here.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
For the tax revitalization program, it got sent to me, but sent to my old address, the rental property that I was living in while I was building my house. When it was sent, I was already moved to my new house. I never received it. And then I was also told that I got a cancellation letter that I had been dropped from the program, and I never received that either because it went to my old address. So this year I called, and I was like, hey, do I have to see anything on this? You know, where are we at? And I was informed of that information. So I'm just here to ask questions about.
Right, and we had a conversation a little while ago. 2 letters were sent out, and both of these under standard courtesy letters, saying that you have not filled out your 3rd form, form number 3. The form was not, and correct me if I'm wrong, was the form sent to him or just a letter reminding him he had not sent it? Both. So out of courtesy, and again, understand that her office is not required to check up on these. If you just fail to submit your final or 3rd form, that's it. And she did go above and beyond, sent
So
2 letters
did it
out.
go to my old address or my new address? 'Cause
So
I was-
last known address, so whatever the address you provided for them. So whatever address you put on the form and you said, this is the address I want to be contacted at, that's what address they would send to you. If you move or you have a different address, it's your responsibility to come to the office or call into the office and say, here's my new address.
Well, they had that from the building permit, and that was obvious. Obviously, we had my new address on the building permit with the land and the acre, like, that wasn't really the issue. The issue was just it got sent to the wrong address, and I never saw it, because obviously it would have been very simple.
Did you do a forwarding when you moved?
Yeah, for 30 days, so I moved in August, I had the 30, I don't remember if it was 30 or 60 day period that the post office gives you. She said it was sent in November, so I'm assuming that's why it didn't get forwarded, and whoever was there after me may have just discarded it. I don't know. All I know is it's been very simple for me to bring the letter. I don't think that you guys are like trying to hinder people. It's a new program, it's a new process, everyone's trying to figure it out. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just here to
It's
ask.
not a new program either, it's been going on for 4 years. We just recently
New to me
changed it a little bit, yeah.
That's kind of, a big reason why I moved back here and decided to do that and take advantage of that. So I'm just asking if there's anything that we can do to have it reinstated. I mean, I know you have the total ability to tell me no, I get that, but I'm just asking for that, but I don't know if that's possible.
Any comments from you, gentlemen?
You're putting a rock in a hard place.
I
We've
don't,
had other people come in and want the same thing, we told them no, and we can't make exceptions, everything's spelled out in your packet. Okay, Kate sent courtesy letters to you, that's courtesy letters, that's it. But everything was spelled out in the packet that you got. Okay, as far as the timelines, what you had to do, when you had to do it, so on and so forth. So, to try to put the blame back on Kate's office because they sent letters that you didn't get, the courtesy letters you didn't get, okay, but you had the packet that spelled everything out, correct?
from the time that I applied for the program.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, whatever piece of paper I got to fill out and return, that's what I had.
Which lays out the timeline for everything that you had to do.
Yeah, we went back and looked at the form, and it lists everything individually,
Sure.
and when you're supposed to do that. It sucks. I'm just gonna be frank with you. I get it. It just stinks. But in talking to legal counsel this morning, we have no ability to go back and go, well, in your case, we're gonna change that. It just doesn't work that way. Yes, we are the top of the food chain of the county, but we're not gonna get in a situation where we go, we're gonna allow this for you, but the next one we're not. It just, we can't work it that way. We had somebody who they didn't pay their property taxes under protest. They're out of the program. I mean, that's why we set up rules.
Well, I think that's a little different than what we're talking about, but I understand what you're saying. If you make an exception for one, you have to for all to get that.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I'm not trying to put the blame on it happened, and I was trying to see if there's something we can do about it. Obviously,
I wish there
would
was.
Well, I feel like there probably is, but at the same time, if you understand where I'm coming from.
I do. No, I totally get what
I think
you're
there
saying.
should, in the bare minimum, in the future, not just looking at myself, but for other people in the county's sake, I think we should, or I think everyone should try to come up with better parameters under certain things, because in this case, it kind of seems like you want to dangle the carrot, but you don't want to actually do it, because if there's one little thing, like a piece of paper, literally a piece of paper.
It's not just the piece of paper, it's the information on the paper.
Yeah, what information did you need? All I was told was that it was a piece of paper that said that it was completed, and obviously the bank corresponding with the county and the taxes, and everybody knew when it was done. That's how you know when to charge for a full year of taxes.
We didn't know when it was done.
So then how would you know that it was even done now?
They're going out on the building permit itself.
Right.
So
Obviously it had 1 year.
So the neighborhood revitalization, it's if you're not done this first year, you fill out Part A and giving an estimated time of completion. The Part B of that is, it is now complete, and you turn in that Part 3B with your expenditures and all of that information, and that wasn't even turned in that prior January. after it was completed.
You have to have the numbers.
Right, so the part B that said it was completed was that's what you needed to say it was done.
So that November, that 2022 year, that would have been, it's not complete yet,
Right,
right? So
Right.
that A part and the estimated time of completion would have been filled out and returned.
Right.
The B is if it was complete. So say you completed in August, you would have filled out that part 3B
Right.
with your expenditures and all of that and turned it in at that point.
correct.
And that wasn't done either.
And explain why the numbers, it's not just the piece of paper signed, it's the numbers that make the difference. How do you, there's no way for them to calculate what the abatement would be if they don't have the numbers.
Well, she had the numbers, because if you didn't
Like
have,
building permit.
well, if you didn't have the numbers, you wouldn't know what the value of the home at. You value the home at what the appraisal was, because that's how you do that if you don't know.
Based on the building permit,
Correct.
right?
It's building permit.
So when you do a building permit, most people end up going over. There are very few that end up not spending as much as they put on their building permit.
Right.
So we're using that as kind of a guideline, and that's on the building permit. The neighborhood revitalization has it take a step further because we need to know exact expenditures to know
Right.
what that abatement would be.
And in my case, the exact expenditures was the appraisal, because that's kind of how that works
But how would she know that?
because she looked at the appraisal to get.
I'm just putting into this right now, Adam, as far as I can
Either
see.
way.
Hang on.
Yes.
You filled out part one, the application,
Correct. Paid the $100 and did all that.
okay? Applicant agrees and acknowledges that applicant has received, read, and understands the criteria for qualification, and applicant will follow all required procedures, and within 15 days after project completion, will report same to the county appraiser's office. And if it's not completed by January 1st, following approval for this application, report same to the county appraiser's office by January 15th, next following.
Correct. I know, I understand.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
I would
it is
like
an
to do it,
unfortunate,
but
and I feel
can't
bad
do it.
for you.
It's fine.
I feel bad for you.
I really just, hey, I'm fine. Everyone's fine. It's okay. Everybody's gonna be okay. I was just asking for a little help here because it seems silly to me, that's all.
And I wish we could, I wish we could just wave and say, we're gonna allow this. But if we do that, then the next person who forgets, and I'm gonna ask you this politely, you would have to agree that some of this is, all of this is on your shoulders because you didn't get the information in a timely fashion. And if we forgive that, the next time somebody forgets to send something in, we're gonna have to forgive that one and the next one. So when we set these programs up, we set them up with rules so that we can get completion dates and drop dead dates and be done with it so that it can go to the tax abatement, which is what you wanted to addition, or in the end, right? And I get it, I do feel bad for you, but we don't have any authority to change that, on a per basis situation. Just can't do it.
I'm sorry, I understand.
We just set ourselves up for big lawsuits because you're not the only one that's coming before. We have to follow the structure.
I appreciate that.
I look at the law.
I understand that. I understand all the legal stuff. I can get that. I just think for the future, if you really do want this to be successful with everybody, I think maybe you should just look at making it better and
In
changing.
what way? Give me an example.
Well, I haven't really thought that deeply about
Well,
giving
so-
you an example. I think that's kind of like the commissioner's job is to come up with better ways
We
to
do
help.
think it- we do think it's-
Yeah, I'm not saying you don't, but I'm just saying I think it just seems like a very silly thing. Yes, I should have had that stuff turned into you guys. I get that. And the reminders went to my old address. I did get those. I was seeing those. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. We get that done. Was done. I'm just saying.
But the reminders didn't even need to go out.
So I'm gonna ask Kate, from now on, don't send reminders out. This is what's gonna come to you. Those were courtesies from your office to try to help him out. And I'm gonna ask, don't send any more courtesy letters out. Just let it go. It's on them then. That's the way it's gotta be.
And that's fine. And that's fine if you want to do that. But at least just make sure you tell them, hey, when you apply for this, you're not gonna hear anything from us. I know, I'm just saying, because I was told, not by her, but as someone at the office, you need to watch out for a letter in the mail, this is what you need, look for this. So, you know, you're looking for that, and you kind of forget about some of the little details, and then this happens. That's all I'm saying.
So like I said,
I appreciate that.
I'm gonna instruct that you don't send out any courtesy letters on that anymore. That's not.
So it's not the end of the world, you're all gonna be okay, it's gonna be fine, I'm not like,
I appreciate the fact that
you know what I mean, I just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you moved back here, built a house, and
Yeah, and I will say, like, just so you guys know, and I know this is like, I'm sure she's tired of hearing about this kind of stuff, but like, in a very sincere way, and a very, like, meaningful way, there is a lot of, like, I'm 32 years old, and there's a lot of people around my age that are moving back to Holden, and have moved back, and I've gotten probably 10 messages in the last week about, hey, what's going on, like, how much did your taxes go up, how much, you know, there is growing concern in the community that, like, one of my friends, his bill went up $4,000 in just 1 year. He was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, it's more than my.
I'd love to see that.
Do you have your email address? I'll send you something that I worked up for Chapley Lumber.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about her, but
Yeah, what,
Chapley's my cousin, but she.
Sure, yeah.
Just adamluthi@ndspro.com.
NDS
Yeah, I don't know how somebody's bill went up $4,000, but without seeing it and knowing and
Well,
understanding.
this is just conversation that you have in the community, just like you guys have with your friends or peers, I'm sure, you know. But it's just, I'm not complaining, I'm not like saying this or that, I'm just saying, just so you guys are aware, there is growing concern amongst the younger generation who did move back here, and the only reason they did was because they're from here. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So, I'm not,
I had a gentleman tell me his taxes went up after the first part went out, October, I think it was. And my house tax went up $500. I said, I will check into that, and we're good friends. So I went up to Kate's office, the appraised value went up by 400, not quite 500, his taxes went up $8. It's how you read it.
right, no, I think.
$4,000, that's.
Well, yeah, and I don't know, like I said, I haven't seen the piece of paper, right? And I understand there's, you know, there's all these other numbers that mean nothing to anybody other than maybe her, because you don't understand what they are unless you do what you do, right?
Yeah.
So I get that, but he's just saying like the total bill from last year to the total bill from this year, he said it jumped a whole bunch. And he was just concerned.
Again, we'd have to lay it out, take a look at it.
Yeah, no, I'm not, I'm just using that as an example of amongst the conversation of growing concern, that's all.
And hopefully.
I just wanna let you guys know.
Hopefully what I'm sending you will kind of explain some things, so, you know, you can share it out with whoever you want to, because it's, you know, it's just something I want to do for Chapley, so, yeah.
I appreciate it. That's all I got, guys.
I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thanks for your time.
See, thanks.
All right, Kate. If there's anything else, run what you can.
Thanks.
Kate, I will, hang on just a second. I want to go back and address, this is one thing. I'm not sure, and Mark, we can have more conversation if we want to at some point. I'm not sure limiting Kate to sending those letters out, reminders. I understand what you're saying, but.
And it's gonna go back and blow up on us because, somebody didn't get a courtesy letter. I don't think that it's in the appraiser's best interest to send them out.
How do you feel? I'd really
That's-
like to know how Kate feels
Sure.
about it, and that's why I asked her to come back.
We always want to do our best to help out the taxpayer.
Yep.
The citizen. And it's something that we have set up, streamlined, because we know we're getting more and more and more of these neighborhood revitalizations. So it's a process that I think is helpful to those that may forget about that process. And we're always probably going to have an issue like this every once in a while.
I guess, Mark, the way I look at it is that I would always rather see any department in this county bend over backwards to do courtesy letters or try to help the taxpayer out even if we, the three of us, are gonna face somebody coming in and being mad at us about it, I'm personally, I'm okay with Adam coming in and having that conversation and letting him vent a little bit, but at the end of the day, saying, telling him what the truth is. I feel like that there's more people will benefit from those courtesy letters, and if we can bend over backwards for people, I think we.
And I'm more than willing to bend over backwards to help the taxpayers, help the citizens, but here comes the rub. If, as Adam said, which I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth up there, but Adam sat there and said that I was told in the office to be on the lookout for this letter. Well, apparently he wasn't, otherwise he would have come in and said something a long time before this. But if the office is telling people, look out for the letter, right? They don't get the letter.
That's an issue Kate can address with the staff, though.
But there again, I don't want it coming back on us. Well, I didn't receive the letter, so I'm gonna sue you to get this. Because the office said I'm gonna get a letter.
Yeah, I don't think.
So if we're gonna do that, then don't tell anybody you're gonna send them a letter, just send them, and if they get them, they get them, if they don't, they don't. Because we can't put ourselves out on a limb like that.
I can do that, I can tell
Yeah.
everybody, don't tell them to be on the lookout for
Yeah,
courtesy
I would
letter.
not.
Because then it's not, then it's not a courtesy, it's an
Yes.
expectation. And so, I really like the fact that you do that.
I do
Because
too. I mean, trust me, I do
in
too.
one
I
out
don't
of-
want it coming back on the county.
how many
that-
people do you have a year apply for this? 10, 12, 5?
Between 5 and 10.
Okay, so if 1 out of 10, I'm okay with Adam coming in here.
Same here.
He's upset, but I'm okay with that.
But when they come in here and they're basing their expectation to get back on a courtesy letter, that's, I don't want us put on one, on the hook. I'm talking about
Yeah.
us as the county, put on the hook for that. So.
Yes, sir.
You wanna, that's great. You wanna send them out, send them
Hang
out,
on,
but
just-
don't have your
just a
office,
second. I'm
don't
gonna
be
have to call you right
expecting
back.
for that, okay? That would be my opinion. So,
Got
okay.
Kieffober. So. that
I
clear?
also wanted to tell you guys that there is a new, state statute on, filing for personal property that changed in '24.
Okay.
That instead of sending out personal property renditions every single January, we're not gonna do that anymore. They're
Okay.
only required to file one time for their personal property.
Okay.
So the only time they will be getting penalties is when there's a failure to file or a late file. So we're not sending out renditions this year. We're gonna send out a letter saying, this is what you can expect, here's the new statute and why. And I can bring that letter down that I'm gonna be sending out.
Okay, that'd be great.
So you are all aware that that has changed.
Okay. So we all good
Yeah.
with the letter and the
Yeah.
courtesy?
Like I said, I
Thank
just
you.
have
appreciate
your
that.
office not tell anybody about it, and when they get the courtesy letter, it's a courtesy letter. Because I think that's probably the best way to go, because they won't be expecting.
We try to over-inform everybody
Yeah.
on every detail we possibly can.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe it's, hey, don't forget.
It's even on your wall.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
All right.
sounds good, thank
Thanks,
you.
Steve.
Appreciate it.
I don't think we have anything until 1:30 or 1 o'clock when Kirk comes in.
Yes.
So I'll entertain a motion to, or we'll recess until 1 o'clock.
Okay. See you all, I'm going to the hospital.
Yep.
Actually, I think she's home now. Granddaughters. All right. You need me, I've got.
We got steel, we're on interior. Cause those are the exterior doors.
Yeah, I've already got those. actually went to one of their websites and they had a manufacturers and modular home service and suppliers in Kansas.
And if you do anything with the windows, you're gonna find the same thing here.
Actually, the exterior walls are 2 by 6.
Really?
Oh, yeah. All the exterior walls are 2 by 6. And
See, that's what we have problems with the windows on our rentals because everything was,
so I was able to buy stock windows at Menards that had nail frames, and then I'll just frame the window to fit the
Yeah.
window I bought. It was a whole lot cheaper. And they're good windows.
oh yeah,
The young one.
yeah,
And so that was easy.
okay. See, I'm trying to think, I believe, no, maybe I'm thinking, I think that, we had to reuse one door, which only had to work before, so we had to, move it, tear it down, foam it, take it down until it was good. But I think that everything else, we went in there and like told us, we ripped everything down, all the interior walls that weren't supported.
These are all older sets.
And rebuilt them because there was no closets, there was no nothing, so I think when we did that, then we went ahead and were able to use normal 300 doors to put back in.
There's a J&L place out of Wichita. Oil supply. So they're cutting wires and stuff. All them now.
And I just found one here too that is mobile home interior doors,
Oh, really?
which is Builder Discount Center. Stores back on the East Coast.
Okay.
So,
Hi, Alan.
hey, Alex.
We'll go ahead and go back in session. Motion for Sheriff's Department. You want to sign in? Okay. Do what?
Christie says we might want to talk for executive session also.
Okay. He ought to be here any minute.
Yep.
You have a good weekend now.
Yeah, this is the first time I didn't have to be anywhere in a long time.
There you go.
I did laundry. I mean, last week I was in Nebraska, Minnesota. I saw one family, and so, yeah, I did laundry. I cooked food. I think I have more time on the weekends to cook good food for my, select. It was good. It was good.
So you're telling me your family's out for a while?
Well, I gotta go back up there in a couple more weeks, so.
There you go.
Well, my brother and sister-in-law just had another baby.
Oh.
So they've got 4 little boys.
There you
so
go.
I got to meet the little one, so that was worth the trip.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, so. They have their hands full, but they're cute kids.
So, Bristol, any idea what he makes while he's been there? From patrol to investigations is what he says.
Hey, Kurt. Hey, Kurt. Hey, guys. How you doing? Good.
Keep it short, too. Just got some contracts I want to get approved for pest control for next year.
Oh, yeah.
Some bids came back in.
Sure.
That's right, I mean, really, it doesn't even go over my limit, but I just figured I would bring it in since it is a contract.
So Graham was quite a bit cheaper than Champion.
Well, and to do everything the same too. So, I guess that's mine.
Goes over and then I'll entertain a motion for approval, or, I mean, you're well within your spending, right? But-
Yeah.
but we'll
No,
go ahead
I
and
just,
do it.
since it was a contract thing, we'll just
Yeah.
give you guys a courtesy of looking it over in case anyone gets a little. I know how, if you remember last time we did this, even though
I
it
do.
was well within.
So they're just gonna go $75 a month for everything, not break it out.
Right. Basically said there was no need to muddy the water and all that, I was like, I'm just gonna do it all. So, and whether you need it or not, I'm gonna put it in there for that.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
I'm comfortable with that price, he said, and,
So do we need a motion on that?
Yeah, entertain a motion to,
I'll make a motion that we enter into contract with Ram Exterminators for Kansas for $900 a year
for the 2025 season.
for 2025 season, pest control out at Banner Creek Reservoir Facilities.
second. The move and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, Chris, you.
Can't see the-
Yeah, you see? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
And that's just what I need.
Okay.
I am,
My script.
looking into, getting, the building added onto our gift spot right now, because we're pretty well done. I'm still on doing the paperwork side of things. I'm hoping to have some pricing set up, and to bring in for you guys next week. I'm trying to iron out the details of that. I think I'm pretty well where I feel comfortable, and I think it's kind of, competitive, but at the same time, not,
Not giving it away.
Right, not giving it away, exactly.
Yeah.
I think we have a very unique, we'll have a very unique, experience out there that you can't really compare us to anything because of the view, it's just sells itself.
Right.
And having the chapel right there.
Chapel, and I bet I've had 25, 30 phone calls already, and so on. Well, that's not even at the, I mean, they don't even know.
Yeah,
It's just,
that's what they did, yeah.
so,
I think it's good.
Question, that building, did we add that to our insurance?
yes.
I figured you probably had, but I just was thinking, now that it's complete, it's probably turned over from the builder's insurance to ours, and so. We would have that.
So yeah, when we're doing that, I think what I'm gonna try, I'm gonna do something a little different. I think that I'm gonna attack this as a, kind of like hotels and like Airbnbs do with, whereas you pay the price up front and, there's no deposit or anything that you put down, but we will keep a credit card on file for damages or for, that way, we're not trying to, run people down and, you know, try and get money back to them, figure out what card they use, you know, to do that. I think that way, as long as you follow you have the rules of what you need to do, and, it should lead for, you know, that way, if someone does damage something, you know, say it's $200 deposit that we take, and they damage $500 worth of stuff, I mean, this way you get charged accordingly for what we have, and, I think once I get that ironed out as to what I want that to say, I'll try and get it over to, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
And so he can put whatever he needs to do onto it as far as.
And I will say on that, whenever you do that, document, you know, if there's, like you're in a U-Haul and you have to go around and take pictures of any damage to the truck or trailer or something like that, so, you know, that way they can't come back on you and say, when you get to where you're going, well, you put that scrape alongside, no, it's already there. So, you know, think about how to handle that, just in case, you know.
Well,
You hate to think like that, but.
Right, but I do have, my camp post has a phone that the county issues to her, so I can have her set a folder in her photos.
Yep.
And you know, it goes all into there, and we do it kind of like that. It's easy enough for her, because she's gonna be the one cleaning it.
Yeah.
So I've got a contract made out with her for cleaning it. That way, you know, we're gonna have very little, you know, for people when they get done is that, you know, all we need to do is sweep the floors, put the tables and chairs away, you know, and spot clean the counters. And we'll do all the deep cleaning of the bathrooms and everything like that.
Right.
But that way, it's all included in the price.
Okay.
I think.
Let's see, I'm going to make a motion to go into executive session for matters of security, IT, sorry, Kate. No, 10 minutes.
If we need that,
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Let's go 5 minutes first, starting at 1:13 with Kurt, commissioners, and Christie.
Second motion. Okay. We'll, we will, entertain a motion to go into executive session. You'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make motion to go into executive session under, security, IT, for a total of, let's see, we'll start out 20 minutes. Beginning at 1:22, to include commissioners Christie, Kate, Tim, and if the others show up, Lisa and Mary.
Yeah. So, yeah, you might call Lisa and just tell her what we need to know, as opposed to a long explanation of things, because I just get lost in some of it. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Try Canada. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
See you.
How is everybody?
Good.
Okay.
give us 30 seconds to make some notes here, and then we'll move into our. Okay. Mark, you tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. We haven't had a department head meeting for a while, so thank you for everybody coming down.
Kind of Slim Pickens today.
It is. It is. I
Yeah,
know
you got two of them.
Sheriff's in Wichita, or at least he's en route to Wichita today. So I don't think he'll be here. Scott's out on the road. He was in this morning, so we kind of touched base with him. He's working on a lot of projects around the county. So who wants to just raise their hand and start? Huh?
I have nothing going on.
Oh, come on, you do. You gotta have something going
I
on.
got my trees cleaned up.
You did. That looks good. Does everybody know why Pat was cutting trees down on Sunday?
Hollow.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Big time.
Yeah.
Too bad it didn't mold them.
Everything in the building's working as it should.
Don't be saying that.
Way to go, Keith.
McElroy's is coming up Wednesday and Thursday to do their annual, or biannual heating inspection.
Yeah. Yeah, go over everything.
And we've got a few issues there, and then, we got a couple lights we're gonna replace Wednesday in the courtroom.
Is almost 99% of all the lights in this building been switched to LED, I assume?
We're getting there.
Okay. What would it take to get there? Outside help? That's what I'm asking.
No,
What?
Money?
Well, I think
I'm just trying to think,
I think he
we're,
has
we're
plenty of
getting
money.
there.
Yeah, well,
Third floor's pretty well done,
okay.
other than the hallway and, bathrooms. So you may be looking at 8, 10 up there, they're about $50 a piece. I've got the small courtroom switched out. Yeah, I think the second floor is all switched out, so there ain't many other than these boys' bathrooms.
Okay.
And I'm looking at getting that and some new ceiling tiles put in.
Okay. And how long ago was it you put all the acoustic tiles in the other room over here? That's all.
That's was done in
It's been
August.
several months ago.
August.
Yeah, that August.
Have we tested that to see if it
They've had some meetings down there.
to make a difference?
That seems to.
Okay. Very good.
And I took the old ones up and put them in the jury room, that made one heck of a difference.
Good. So we repurpose those.
Yeah. And Kurt's Bell's gonna come in Wednesday, let me install some lights in the courtroom.
Wait a minute. We have two different department heads working together
Exactly.
for the same goal? That's a miracle. Cool. I like it. No, I meant his, Kurt's doing something outside his realm. I wasn't even, you guys, that just didn't come out right, did it?
I was sitting there thinking, what's he saying there?
Meaning Kurt used to do a lot of electrical work, that's not what he does now.
And he's getting the big ladder I need for it too, so.
Cool.
For Chris.
Everybody works well. Moving on.
You're right.
What's new in your world?
Not much, been working with Pat, trying to get some, new security upgrades in upstairs, that's about it.
You're fully staffed?
Yeah, Bill turned around, left, and came right back.
I read that. I just missed you?
We call him Boomerang now.
Yeah.
That's good.
He decided his, second profession there was not what he wanted to do after 1 week and begged for his job back, and I'm like, save me training, so yeah.
Yeah, he hit the ground running. Cool. Okay. Pat?
I've been taking hours and hours of training for our new ID badge system, which is supposedly a live system now, and I've had so many problems with it, with the kinks. through the state, so I'm on the phone with them daily, and people have to wait a few months to get their ID badges for all organizations. Working with everybody, I think I have all my mitigation resolutions in, that I'm gonna send off to FEMA and Hayden, so we're good there.
Okay.
And then just working on some other things.
Any feedback from our fire departments or, I guess, Hoyt and Marietta on the new radios? Have they talked to you about that or heard anything?
They don't seem to have a problem. I mean, there is still some low spots that they don't work out, but that's gonna be the.
Hopefully, that'll all go away when the actual system
Yes.
is in place.
I think it will. It'll be a bonus for
Up on the new tower,
Yeah.
or the lease on an existing tower. So,
They're happy with the radios. Some of them are wanting the commissioners to buy them more, and I said, you know what? That's not gonna happen, boys.
thank you for covering our back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Mary?
In August, we started scanning, some of our old school records, so we can kind of try to get those digitized before they go down to the storage area. It's a slow, steady process, but it's going.
Okay.
Other than that, that's it.
Okay.
I think we had everything out of storage.
Yeah.
We have successfully merged all of our permanent files into our office.
Successfully
Wait a
merged.
minute, Kate and I worked together because I gave her some file.
She did, she gave me filing cabinets.
You should know that.
That was a dig, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm glad somebody's working together.
Yeah. Thank you, Christine.
Couldn't resist.
How full is our storage room that we leased?
It's getting there. I mean, we took some time off from the elections, and then I want to get all the Christmas stuff up and out of my way so we can start hauling more down, because Christmas is going down there afterwards.
Good.
So,
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, just to move it down there.
so we've got those out of the way, so it's getting empty in that room,
Which one?
sunflower room.
Which is the farthest?
Right.
And then the one back up here that has,
That's her fault.
is that getting, is that gonna help you too, benefit you to be able to take some stuff down there? Some of those records that are in there for 100 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to get to the end of it.
Would it benefit, I mean, is it a, manpower thing where we could hire a couple football players and they could come up and help fetch and tote, or is it, is that part of it?
No,
No,
just,
okay.
I think it's more the department that's going through and
Yeah,
knowing what
I
they
mean,
want to be taken.
I got with Mary, she has a few boxes that she don't need, so I'm gonna haul them down,
Okay.
get them down there. I got most of my stuff that I don't hardly use, we've got it moved down. I don't know if I'm going to, I mean, that vault might just stay the way it is. But that's what he's gonna put all that IT stuff in there, it wouldn't fit, so.
Well, it'd be handy for me if we had a disaster or something, just go in there and get my files and put them on.
And you started to point this way, did you have something to say when you pointed here, or?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I got something to say. No.
All right.
Okay. Lisa? How long have you been with the Rams?
Good 15 days.
How's it going?
Still learning, just taking the time. We've got full staff now. We hired a new gal, and she started on the 4th.
Oh, cool.
So we're,
Training her.
got everybody moved in their right spots now.
That's important.
So
Kristen, anything new and exciting in your office?
Ready to certify election this week.
Okay.
Got Tara back.
Yeah.
We're waiting on the election.
Election's good.
Yeah, I thought,
Yeah, we had a really good turnout.
I thought the certification went really well. I liked kind of the way we did it this year, and they had everything organized, and so that was pretty easy run through.
Got the abstracts in, taxes are in.
Okay.
And the taxes are coming in fast and furious.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to run past you guys is we were talking about, so typically the county does something for each employee every year prior to Christmas. I'd like you guys' feedback. You can have that. I mean, if you want to give that, then you don't have to give it today. If you want to email Christy with it, what your thoughts are. We've done chamber bucks, we've done Visa card to, you know, whatever.
Personally, I'm okay that we do the county picnic.
And that's a great point. Do we need to do anything? Because we had that conversation. We had the picnic.
You added the,
Budget is tight.
you added Christmas Eve on to the, so.
Are you guys comfortable with just, we wish everybody a Merry Christmas, but.
I see nothing wrong with that.
I like it a lot.
Okay. Speaking of picnic, does everybody enjoy having the picnic? And who's taking on the reins next year?
Treasurer's office.
That was Christie.
All in favor, say aye. You guys can talk about that. I know.
Yeah, just let us know.
I know the clerk's office has done it the last 3 years, 2 years.
I think
2 years.
probably sooner than, take this week and think about it, talk among yourselves. If we could know by probably next Monday, because if we do something, it's gonna take a little while to get it together. So,
But yeah, if we're comfortable with just not doing anything at all this year for Christmas,
I think that's great.
I think we'd be good with that. And then the whole employee picnic, if a couple of departments want to get together and work on putting that together, they could do that too. So you have a bigger office, more employees. Easy, I mean, so you have plenty of people who can help coordinate and put ideas in, but I mean, we wouldn't want to put it all on Pat.
here's no, well, maybe you can get another department to work together.
That's a great idea.
We're not gonna let that one go for a while.
But maybe a couple of departments, the two of the smaller departments work together to coordinate it and organize it and do it for a couple of years, and then we'll pass the torch. I'm waiting for the year that Pat and Jerry do it.
We're gonna do it every year before we're on the turnaround. We're not gonna be in charge, but we'll tag along.
We appreciate it. What else?
The only thing I can remember that we were gonna talk about specifically was the Christmas. I'll bring it up again, because it seems like I do it every time we have a meeting. Keep working on your succession plans. I know we probably haven't worked too long, because I know we haven't. So you need to start doing that too.
Well,
We're right here with you.
it's a little different for us for a succession plan than it would be for Lisa or Christie or any of you. I mean, there are some things you're gonna wanna write down. I mean, as new commissioner coming in, they're gonna have a learning curve, and it's a little different. But yeah, if you can keep working on those, or one of you got run over by a beer truck, somebody would be able to pick up a notepad or a binder and kind of file through some important dates throughout the year of things that have to be done, especially in you guys' departments. That's really important.
You're smiling at me.
Oh, I'm just happy to be here. Just smiling.
Feeling the love.
What there was something else. not making any change with insurance this year.
Thank God.
I can't think of anything. You guys have anything for us? I mean, anything just off the cuff?
Yeah.
Yes, get my revision, they have Christmas, decorations up before Thanksgiving.
Well, I might have yesterday while the weather was nice, so.
I would agree with you. You gotta wait till at least Thanksgiving Day.
That'd be nice.
But I usually dip mine up when it's either raining or snowing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I was gonna ask you guys. So, last year we had lunch with the commissioners. Is anybody interested in doing that again? Do you guys like to do that, or is it just sit in here and eat and go, nobody talks and go back to your office? I mean, really, I mean, if you enjoy it, we'll continue to do it. If the employees really think it's kind of dorky, we will do it. Come on, surely somebody's giving feedback. What do your employees say, Pat?
You know, it's pretty tough. That's hard to work with.
But, yeah, I'd like some feedback on that,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do that again. We enjoyed it, because I think it's an opportunity to get to know you on a personal level versus a work level. Because typically, I think when we come in, I'd rather have a conversation in that direction than other, but it doesn't have to be, we don't have to do it, it makes people feel uncomfortable.
I heard some positive comments from the girls in the office. So I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Seemed to enjoy it.
Okay.
Good.
There's nothing we have in numbers.
Well, and now across the street at the sandwich shop, they have a whole nother board of different sandwiches. They are good. Yeah. So, yes, if we don't hear anything back other than what we've heard today, we'll go ahead and start planning that out for 25 and do something again.
Yep.
Other than that,
Thank you for coming, appreciate it.
glad y'all are working together.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
See you later, everybody.
Yes.
That letter,
Yes.
look at it, you like it?
Is that the letter in your hand? I'm gonna be, I went upstairs and you handed it to me and I went to lunch and I left it on the seat. I have not read it, so
Okay,
we can make a copy of it.
shall I read it to you?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, so this is regarding personal property filing penalty changes. Dear so-and-so, please find this letter as notification that filing requirements for personal property as described in KSA 79306 have changed as of July 1st, 2024. Previously, all Kansas taxpayers were required to annually list, sign, and submit a personal property rendition to the county appraiser's office no later than March 15th for all tangible personal property subject to taxation located in that county's taxing districts as of January 1st. The 2024 Kansas legislature passed Senate Bill 410, which amends KSA 79306 and removes the annual reporting requirement for taxpayers with an accurate rendition on file and no changes required. And then it gives the statute, what that statute says. And it says the county appraiser's office will not mail a rendition to you for the 2025 tax year. We'll mail these letters out to everybody that has a personal property account.
Okay.
If you make changes to the personal property that you own, please call or come into our office in a timely manner to notify us of the changes. And we also put in there that we may require proof of transaction, bill of sale, that kind of thing. If there are any changes to report, the taxpayer is required to file a rendition for that tax year to avoid penalties. Examples of changes that should be reported are the purchase of new personal property, the sale of personal property, and changes to the address or use of personal property. It says, please contact our office with any questions or concerns at our phone number, and then, so this will be a one-time letter that we send out at the beginning of this year.
Will they get renditions for like late filings or failure time?
No. They will just get the penalty, which has been reduced. That was a part of it, they reduced the penalty percentages. The failure to file used to be 50. I think it is going to, there's a half percentage in there somewhere. It's either 12.5. So Almentum AS400 doesn't have a solution for that yet because they don't do point percentage. They just do full percentages. So we have to work through that somehow. What we will do, so if someone has changes, we will print off the rendition that we have on file. They can make their changes, sign it, and date it if they have changes to be made. Instead of us mailing out. We can mail it if they need us to mail one, but they are not required to annually file. So we will not be sending out personal property renditions, the green sheets or yellow sheets each year. So that'll save a little on postage.
Yeah.
But this year we'll send out the letter, letting them know of those changes, and if you all are good with that letter, then
It sounds good to me.
that's what we'll send out.
Yep.
The 22nd.
I asked for the meeting on Friday. Are we all out in the
Oh.
meeting or are you all doing something else?
What time is it in?
You know, I
After
haven't
lunch.
seen an agenda,
Right
but
after
usually we're
lunch.
done by like 1 or 2. Because we're usually home by 3 or 3:30.
I'm gonna drive myself.
I think I'll probably end up trying myself too, because I probably need to make a stop at people that days.
I think they were hoping that was.
That's all I had.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
you.
Kate.
Oh, you're gonna ask Tim about the billing coming through him and not directly to the county.
I think we would, Kristen just needs to contact, IP Pathways and
Just
just
let
tell
them
them
know.
this is a mistake, it needs to come.
Directly
And
through.
I would make it, not a person, but make it, county clerk's office or Jackson
Correct.
County Commission or something like that.
Not, I don't want it to come to the commission, I'd rather it come to
Go
the
to the clerk's office, that's
That's
great,
right.
because it shouldn't come to any one person, I don't believe.
Okay. Mark, I don't have anything else.
I can't think of anything.
If you have anything you need other than what we're taking out from here. Okay, motion.
So moved.
Second. Adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.